Okay, folks, welcome to Home on the Range. I'm Harold, and I'm your YouTube creator here. And a little birdie told me that before I go running off the range with you guys again, I need to explain a few things of the terminology that's used and the what and the why. And so that's how we'll do this entire video. This is going to be explaining about the rifle we're going to take to the range, and the ammunition we're going to forget to take probably, and then we'll go to the range afterwards. But not in this video. It'll be another video, because this one's almost the limit of YouTube's allowance for a channel my size. Now, if you got buddies that aren't subscribed, bribe them or something. Get them to come over here and subscribe, right? I think I looked the other day, I had 19 subscribers, but it may have grown by now. After all, I took a nap a while ago, and I woke up from my nap and I thought, boy, I'm all foggy in the brain. What better time to launch into a video, huh? Alright, so let's just get started on the video instead of me mumbling on anymore. Alright, we can do it. This shows how to score the benchrest target I've been using. And in the next video where I'm shooting at this target, I wrongly give myself an extra point on these shots where I hit this green ring. And it's not so. I gotta hit this little tiny circle right down in the middle. So, in the next video to come, I'll be lying to you a little bit about the value of each shot. Okay? You can pause the video and and see that. And you can even blow up your video some, with control mouse wheel thing. But that's what they're showing you, is these guys right here. And none of the video that I shot actually shows you all the rings, like zooming in. Whoop. None of it actually shows you all the rings, like zooming in on the thing. But you can see how they're numbered. You have to touch the edge of a ring to get the to get the points for that ring. That little tiny ring in the center there, which I measured, is 100,000th of an inch, a tenth of an inch. That's the 10. If you obliterate that little circle, you get 10 and an X. If you hit just on the edge of that little circle, you get 10. So, explaining this stuff is open a whole bag of worms. Yeah. We're going to take this rifle and this gun rest, which is a specialized gun rest for benchrest shooting, and the rifle is a specialized rifle custom made for benchrest shooting. We're going to take them both to the range and see if I can get close to hitting a few things, And before I go, I thought I would show some of the points of it. It's got here a Weaver T36 scope, okay? And it's got up front, the scope's got a sun visor. This scope is set for a magnification of 36 times. It doesn't change to 34 or 35 or anything. It's 36 times magnification. It's got a little adjustment up front for the parallax, so that if you want to be aiming at 100 yards, everything will be where it says it is. Okay? You can come up real close to the gun or go out to infinity. It's adjustable for that. Now this is a true single shot rifle. You open the bolt, and it's got a left-hand feed for the loading, because I'm right-handed, so I'm going to operate the bolt with my right hand. I'm going to use my left hand to stuff the ammo in it. Let's go around and take a look at that side. We'll just zoom in on the spot where you put the ammo in, right there. Now, being a benchrest rifle, I'm going to back up, you get tired of looking at the chamber. It's got a lot of little quirks to it. Besides that, it has a 2-ounce trigger. My Savage that I showed you guys has an adjustable trigger that's adjustable down to about 2 pounds. With this one, all you have to do is just touch the trigger. It fires. Let me go ahead and pull this guy out. Show you the bolt. It's called a bolt action rifle because it has a bolt that goes in and shoves the cartridge home and holds it down. The firing pin is right in the center of the bolt. It's not sticking out there, man. It's not going to stick. But this is the back view of the firing pin here. All right. Now there's also another little thing with the benchrest rifle. We'll move up the gun a little. This rifle has a little something on the end of the barrel here. That's not a suppressor or silencer or something like that. That's a tuner. And it's graduated in a bunch of numbers. You've got weights that you can screw onto it and change the frequency of vibration of the barrel. Some guy at some point discovered that when you fire a rifle, the barrel takes on a sort of a wavy vibration from one end to the other, and this will damp that out. The vibration causes variances in where the projectile is going to land, and we don't want variance. We want the thing to hit the same spot every time, provided I understand how to handle the wind well enough. Now then, let's take a look at the gun rest. It's a special gun rest also. Up in the front here, we've got a clamp. We clamp tight against the stock of the rifle. Everything good and tight, so it stays stuck tight in the rest. It's got a stop right here in the front for the stock, so it won't go any further forward. You got it in the same spot every time you fire it. It's got right here an attachment that'll hold on to this crank here. You turn this knob, and there's a big screw under there. It starts lifting up the front of the gun, and when you got it where you want it, you latch it down with that guy right there. Alright, and it's hinged more or less right here on this one single piece from the front. Let me zoom in on that for you. Here's your hinge for the front of the rifle. As you can see, there's a piece of aluminum here, a piece of aluminum here. This guy is sort of floating on top of this guy. Alright, but all together, it's a pretty darn heavy thing, even though it's made of aluminum or aluminium, depending on how you look at it. Alright, let's go back to the back. Oh, you get adjustment legs, 2 in the front and 1 in the back, to level this thing up so that it's perfectly level and aimed right at your target. Alright, now we'll move to the back. Back here we have another adjusting leg. It adjusts for the elevation. This guy here moves the stock sideways. You crank it around, your stock will move sideways. The whole rest, if you look at it, you can see it's moving sideways. This whole thing here. This is staying still. This platform is moving sideways. This one raises this platform up and down, sort of a fine adjustment. I don't know if you can see it coming up or not, but that's a fine adjustment on the height. And this is a fine adjustment for the windage. These 3 legs on it is a coarse adjustment, so you can get it kind of near to what you want. All right. Now this is the bolt out of my Savage rifle. And it's a little bit different than this one. I mean, you can see they have similarities, but other than the similarities, this guy is pretty much just smooth like on the bottom. And this guy has a little thing sticking out of the bottom. And I'll show you what that's for. Since the Savage has a magazine to hold its ammo, this little bar goes, see those lips there on that? How that you can see a little bit of the cartridge sticking up? This little protrusion here, this little bar, comes sliding across the top of the magazine. It slides across the top of the magazine and it pushes that cartridge out. I think you can see how it's right in those lips there. Everything with a magazine works this same way. All right, let me move around a bit more. Just as the Now, this being a special rifle, you know, of course, that it's going to need special ammunition. This is 10X made by Ely. Ely is pretty much, I'd say, the choice of an awful lot of small bore bench rest shooters. Bench rest goes up into even big, high caliber guns, but instead of shooting at 50 yards like small bore, they're shooting at 500 yards and 200 yards and large distances like that. One of the things that you need to know when you have a gun like this is whether you have the right ammunition. This gun is designed to use subsonic ammunition. All your small bore rifles for small bore bench rest use subsonic ammunition. And what does that mean? That means that this ammunition is always going to be propelled below the sound barrier. If you look at it right here, every package of Ely has a number on there where that batch of ammunition tested out an average of 1,064 foot per second. And I've shot some of it over chronograph and such, and it varies very, very little. Maybe a foot or two one way or the other. Okay? And what is the reason for that? Well, the reason that you want subsonic ammunition is when you shoot most 22 ammunition, such as, I'll show you some. This is 22 long, which can be put in some weapons that are 22 long rifle. All right, this is rated at 1,215 foot per second, so that's above the speed of sound. All right, when you fire one of these, you hear that crack. You know, that's what makes the noise, is the bullet breaking the sound barrier. But as it hits the wind resistance out there, it's going to start slowing down. But when it broke the sound barrier, it left a disturbance in the air. This disturbance is going to catch up to the bullet as it's flying through the air, and it's going to give it a little push on the rear end there, and it can make it wobble. And if it wobbles a little bit, it'll maybe hit here and maybe hit over there. It affects, you know, the trajectory of the bullet. So all the guys shooting bench rest try to stay under the speed of sound with subsonic ammunition instead of supersonic, which is what's above the speed of sound. All right, that's the story on the ammunition for it. And usually for small bore bench rest, a Weaver T36 I think is probably the most popular scope. Although I've seen a lot of guys buying those expensive Night Force and stuff like that. Those scopes run up $2,500 and such for the scope. And a rig like this rest will run you probably, I don't know, maybe $600 or more. The rifle, over $2,000. The scope, I don't know, I think around $400 or better. Which, you know, for these guys that are buying Night Force scopes is a cheap scope. But that scope does the job. It's nice and clear. Everything is wonderful with it. Trust me. I have a video where I was shooting sequins at 50 yards with this scope, and I put a camera on the back of it here so you could see through the scope. And it made that aspirin look like a quarter, you know. So it's a good scope, and it's clear. All right, so that's enough of this talk. I think that we should go to the range and see if I can get a bunch of bullseyes.
Well, that's all, folks. Y'all try to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Leave a comment if you got something to say. And above all, remember, keep on keeping on. Bye now.